Welcome back, Doug Burson here. There's new stuff out there right now on BOI. I want to make sure you guys know exactly where we are, so stay with me to the end. It won't be very long, but I'm going to quickly go through how we got here. I'm not going to get into all the last stuff, just the last couple moves and make sure we all know where we are, and then I'll tell you where we're going to go from there. Okay, so how did we get here? For those of you who've been paying attention, you know where we are for the most part. For those of you who don't, go check out my other videos on BOI. I don't want to waste people's time. So on December 26th, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals essentially said, you don't have to do this. Let's just keep it simple. We're not getting the technical words here. You don't have to do it. So then we got to December 31st. The Department of Justice filed an emergency application with the Supreme Court. So that got us to December 31st. That brings us forward to January the 3rd. And on January the 3rd, the Supreme Court actually does get involved. And Justice Alito, he has said the Supreme Court has set a 4 p.m. deadline on January the 10th for the plaintiff to address the motion for a stay. So here we are. That's actually today. At some point towards the end of today, it's supposed to be by 4 o'clock, which basically is almost now, and I still haven't seen anything yet, but it should be coming soon. So what that means is right now, what do you care about? You don't have to do it today, but stay with me. If you find this helpful, go ahead and pop the button down there, subscribe. That helps me a lot, helps me get more information out to more people. But we should know, we think, by the 13th, what is going to be going on next. So here's where we are today. What really matters, you don't have to do the BOI report today, but sometime next week, we should get more information on where this goes next. So what does that really mean? I don't know what it means. Let's be honest. But here's what I do think. No matter what happens next week, this thing's bounced back and forth multiple times. It's still going to continue to bounce back and forth. Remember, I think it's, off the top of my head, I think it's February the 7th is when this is actually supposed to be officially heard. Even that's not going to settle it. Once that happens, like I've said before, no matter who wins this thing, it's going to get appealed to the Supreme Court. The good news in my mind is since the Supreme Court is already paying attention, once we get past February the 7th, I'm hoping we're getting an expedited trial to figure out what's really going to go on here, and then we'll know more at that point. So if you've already filed, you know what? Good. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Those of you who haven't, you're going to have to keep paying attention because this thing's not over. It's going to bounce back and forth multiple times. So once again, if this is helpful, subscribe. I will keep you up to date on what matters so that you know what you need to do. And with that, that's all I got. Have a wonderful weekend.